Why are we under the radars to where we're as important as anything going on in the United States? How can that be? And we're just sitting here minding our own business. Well, we're talking a little. Think about it. Okay, they might take their top media off because they realize that when they, what did my great nephew was here, we gotta have you on the thing. As soon as I didn't say what they want, boop. I've heard from him since maybe one time. What about the Iranians? That show is the most popular show in Iran. Because when I was in Iran the last time, we were going to the big demonstration and walking mile after mile with hundreds and thousands of people. They said, you walk on the right side of that guy, because the cameras are gonna be here, and they're gonna focus on him, and they're automatically gonna get you every time. And that's what I did. And when you turn on Iranian TV, there he is, and there I am right there. So they're gonna, well, who is he, right? Oh, he's the guy that made him famous. Think about it. The program about 20-something years ago, that's what hooked him up. Okay, I was just watching the other day, yesterday, might have been early this morning, the press saying Zarif is a liar, Rouhani got to take responsibility, you know. Okay. Sometimes when they make those big decisions, those people could easily be sold out by the government. In other words, I got a visit from Iran the day before, last week, you know, as usual, a big friend that we had a 4 or 5 hour something interview. And they kept coming back wanting me to see things the way they saw it. I said, it ain't like that. I told the guy, you're gonna have to have courage. You're gonna have to tell the people of Iran that those demonstrations, those tearing down of statues are not signs of a great upheaval in America. Those are controlled environmental circumstances. All of them are controlled. But we saw in their faces, I said, that's what they, I said, you ain't saw nothing in them kids' faces. Put soap or something, I saw it, they ain't gonna, that ain't, you know, they're trying to convince me. Now, they Negroes telling the Iranian people, or they was, because I know, what's her name come here from Denver? Marzia Hashimi. She's right here in this masjid. They come and they're finding other Negroes, black people, to speak over there. And they're avoiding me. They come in here, but they, Press TV and all of them got a whole new slew of Negroes that don't know nothing about, they just don't know nothing about nothing. And remember I said, I think Iranians are learning a little bit now, and then we came right back. We said, no, they didn't miss the boat. They missed the boat. They missed the boat. Because here we are saying what's going on. And there are people giving another story that they want the people over there to feel. They're the same ones that sold the rahbar on the smell of Islam is going over America. That's it, the million man. No. They want, there's a group of people that want to sell a narrative to the Iranian people. And the story we tell, they don't want these crews, they don't want the Iranian people to be inspired and well-directed. They don't want them to be inspired and well-directed. They was trying to educate, they sit right there and tell me, I tried my best to educate the national Negro on Vilayat Faqih. I said, that ain't gonna work, you know. And I mean, that's what you go back some years, they over and over again, the same thing now. They got a view, those Confederate statues being brought down. I said, look, man, if we got a right to black history, they got a right to white history. I said, the Civil War, 670,000 people killed. What about if 2-3 years, there's no sign of that anywhere? Well, you take down all them statues. So you put up their statue down here, you put up Malcolm X, King, and all that down on this side, and you tell what they did. That's what they did down there at the end of the park. And on this side, you give our story, right? The people got a right to tell their story, right? The Civil War is the only war that they so-called America lost, and they rephrased it, the thing, like it was a good cause went bad. You could see it in Gone with the Wind. You could see it in, what was 1915, what was that thing? The 1915 movie, Cecil B. DeMille's, Birth of a Nation. Yeah, Coons is bad, you know, and the Ku Klux Klan is good. All of a sudden, Reconstruction Act. You know, my father used to tell me about all them programs they had from government, you know, and so I asked him, because I read in school, I said, well, what about the NRA, you know, Racial Reconstruction Act? Wasn't that good for black people? He said, we called it niggers raggedy ass, NRA. They really, that was the name of it, because they give white folks stuff, but they wouldn't give the Negro farmer nothing. And that's what my father and them was doing. They was farming. Stood for niggers raggedy ass. Okay, now that puts us in a dilemma. Because we're trying to tell the truth about people, but nobody is trying, the Negroes are upset and sad, right? The Negro Imams, they're sad. Okay. And they're lying, they straight up lying, all of them. Now here we are, Boss Man is on our case, right? The Negroes is on our case. And nobody will help. Why won't nobody help? Why won't we could stand out in front of CARE all day? Why won't the white man down in Texas, remember what you just called it?
Yeah.
That's what they do. We take care of Muslims. Well, why nobody will even, is something going on because nobody will even touch, right, us. Why? Okay, you would ask, what did we do or what are we doing and why is it so important? It's got to be important, right? Because it's the only thing on the agenda, it's on everybody's agenda.
That's what I was saying about when you mentioned Mahdi Gray. When you see any event that Answer has, and it lists all the supporters,
Right.
it'll mention Mahdi Gray.
Right.
But he hasn't been involved in anything, and you've been there with them,
Yeah.
and you say, ignore you like you don't exist, and your analysis is current, and you have a historical background to go with it. But yet they'll put him on there. I mean, I'm just saying.
No, you're 100% right. You're 100% right. See, we have colored ways. I was watching a movie last night. When we was colored, I only saw a little bit of it. Maybe 1996 or 97, when we was colored people or something. This is about Mississippi doing. In fact, the guy was born in 1946, 1 year after I was born. We got some habits, they're coon habits. No, they're just, well, one I'll mention is the marriage thing. The marriage thing. I have a way of finding out where people are coming from just by marriage. Tufel can tell you one lady that's married to one of the brothers, all of us know. Nice lady, you know what I mean? In fact, I married him years ago. And the lady would call me every day almost. So-and-so does this, so-and-so does that. So-and-so got an extra wife over here or girlfriend, something, you know. And so, but it was some hints of, you know, not to say people like you, but maybe just hitting, you know. So I told Tufel, I said, you tell the lady, I said, you tell her if she's tired of so-and-so, then get a good divorce from him and she could marry me. Now, if she wants a week off per month where she can go and be with anybody, do whatever she wants, you know, then she could have, you know, a week off per month. I'm not asking no questions. Just go do what you want to do. You know, just in case anything come up. So, he said something, anyway, it come back negative. And I never got no calls anymore. I never got any calls anymore. I don't know whether whatever it was, I just never got any calls from that lady anymore.
One way to get rid of it.
It was, no, just like Halle Berry, I was just mentioning, and I do that all the time. I give a few more examples. All of a sudden, ring, 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 everything is, you know. And we was talking fine, but the other day a couple of weeks back, we was talking, and we got into some sensitive stuff, and the phone went dead, or technically she hung up, and then she called me back a few hours later. To me, it was Abdul Malik on the other line when she got into some sensitive stuff that they hadn't cleared because they didn't know I was going to be this, oh, hum, and I'm going to ask this, and I'm going to ask that. And she was just answering that. So I just saw, so the contact is still there, you know what I mean? And that's just the way I was thinking. And I was just putting it out anyway to see if I hear from anybody. It's just like, what's the name over in Baltimore got a daughter, you know, Pakistani guy. So I kept getting calls from the Negro husband. They racist, they playing like they this, that, and other. And So, so I just told two fellas, I tell the girl I'll marry her. And then, and that was that. You know, I mean, I've been doing this for years. I mean, it's tender. I mean, I'm going to school. When I took Arabic in '87 at ISNA headquarters, we went through chapter after chapter, and I had the general idea. So I went to UC Berkeley. A white girl was doing the Arabic class, a Sufi white girl, you know, been to Egypt and all that stuff. And then the whole class was people like, they all studied, you know, in them days, white folks was all studying and Jews to be a part of, to hijack Islam. So anybody they go to them. So it was nice tender there. She was Moroccan and European, white. So I said, I wanted to find out, you know, what was going on. Because all this extra little slag, friendliness stuff and all of it. So I just said, hey, she'd like to get married? Let me think about it. I wouldn't think about it. Then the way they reacted showed just where they was coming from. The white lady, the half-white lady, over in South Africa. When we go over there, everybody else is staying in different nice places. And when Sister Bahia and I are going this time, this is 98. In fact, Sakina learned how to walk over there. We're staying at her house. And I get up in the morning, I'm not ready to get up early. Oh, you like her? Yeah, I said, no, she's just making tea. And I remember that everybody that they try to turn you on to, they'll say, you like her, as though there's something special going on. Now they got me and this white lady, that's not a white lady, it's a half white lady and half Indian. So every time I go over there, they got me and her almost like running together. You know, so and I'm just minding my own business just like there. Making no difference. Then when I get back here, I'm getting phone calls all the time. Remember I was telling y'all about Auckland, New Zealand, and Oakland, California. Because they was either was super floods or super fires that year, over 20 years ago. Because we stood around the other place. Auckland. I said, no, we're from, are you guys okay? So it's about the 50th call. I said, so what's your opinion about polygamy? I didn't say would you like to get married. I check with you. You gotta check about what your position is. It's okay. So anyway, when I went back, things was different. The people was trying to use her as bait. Half of these people they use as bait, you know what I mean? And if I don't bite none of the bait, except I launch a questioning, what's happening here? Or if you want to do something like that, then hey, you want to get married? I check. So, I don't know, one of the recent stuff. I use it all the time. It's just a strategy. It's a colored strategy, but it works all the time. The other thing is who is who and what's what. Right? Why does CARE not respond? Why does other people not respond? Why do the fat cat Iranians, when we go to the UN, they got this type of, why do it something like a friend of mine, if Ahmadinejad is the president, and they invite, you wouldn't believe it, all them crackers from down, people that don't have nothing to do with no Islam, but they invite them, and they got them giving talks and stuff, as though they're real. But that's because the guys down there are against Ahmadinejad. And they got the Brooklyn Imam and the National Negro sitting right up next to the president. You know, if it's a table like this, and all the people are sitting there, then they got tables like that long. They got the National Negro on one side, right? And they got the Brooklyn Imam on another side. And guess where I am? Way, way in the back. So, all right. Therefore, if the seating has any importance, then those would be the people, that's the people they trying to push. Knowing that those are the same people that's been trying to cut their throat.
Right.
The National Negro went to Iraq in 88, 87, 88. And on the way back from Iraq, he went to Saddam Hussein's. During the war, went to Saddam Hussein's joint over there in Iraq. And when he was coming back, he saw, you could imagine who he saw, because he was beamed up to the mothership. Yes, he was. Say what you want. We heard it was hard for him to explain that because all the black nationalists were saying, what happened? And then after, you know, he was trying to explain. Anyway, so, not extract that from the record, but it was actually said. But anyway, it was good. And it was never explained. God was there, and the Lamb